All right, so welcome again to the week 3 class meeting for module 154. Thank y'all as always for giving me your time today. I really appreciate it. Um, hope that y'all get as much out of our face-to-face as I do. Um, if y'all want to, feel free to turn on your cameras. Nobody's gonna judge. And it's always nice to talk to a person and see y'all's facial reactions instead of just the boxes. Hey, Shikaru, thank you. Appreciate you. All right. And Jamie, I need to know if you diving off. So
I'll let you know.
very good. Very good. Miss Claire's in with us. Hey Claire.
Hey.
Glad you could jump in with us today.
Yeah, my internet's, we had an outage here, so
Oh
my
yeah,
internet's
that's
kind of crazy, and
from one end of the state to the other, y'all.
yeah, it was bad.
Y'all, everybody's safe and okay?
Yeah.
I know we've had a lot of people with internet down and electricity down for a couple days, but I think most everybody's up and running again now. But I'm glad y'all are safe, and when stuff like that happens, don't y'all feel free to, hey, I'm out of electricity, so don't, just let me know. Keep me posted on what's going on with y'all.
Or the weather's trying to, off with my head.
Right.
That was a little scary yesterday.
For us, it was the night before. We had 2 fatalities close to Shreveport. And I think that number actually went up after they started clearing debris because there were people missing, but they knew of 2 right off the bat. But it was bad all the way down the state, from what I heard. So, anywho, all right. So today we're going to jump into chapter 15, which is what y'all were starting to read yesterday, as far as the lab assignments. Now, y'all know this is the last Zoom before holiday break. There's no class after this Friday, after tomorrow, for 2 weeks, which means that your chapter 15 exam is not going to be till you come back on it's January 3rd, it's Tuesday. We're off the Monday in observance of New Year's, and then we come back on the 3rd, on the Tuesday. And I think your exam is that day. If not that day, the very next day. But I'm pretty sure it's that day we come back. And of course, you'll have all week to get that in. So it'll be open tomorrow. So if you want to get it out the way, feel free. So yeah, that's the big announcement. It's holiday break. Most of y'all are doing really great in the attendance challenge, so thank y'all for that. It's been really great to see everybody. I've only had like 1 or 2 absences here and there in each of my groups, so y'all are doing fantastic with that. Keep that up. And like I said, there are, for everybody who gets perfect attendance for these 2 weeks, you do get the option of 25 points towards grade or a gift from UNITEC. So, and they'll mail those out after the first of the year, I'm sure. And then after the first of the year, we're going to have a New Year's attendance challenge as well for another 2 weeks afterwards. We're trying to get y'all in the habit of that daily input, the daily submissions. Which y'all know that's why we do those the 1 question daily assignments, so in case you need to just pop in real quick, you have that option. So take advantage of it, y'all. And it makes my job so much easier too. It helps me out a lot. All right, so y'all doing great on chapter 14 so far with your exams. Again, chapter 15 is going to be when we come back from break. We're also going to be starting our coding workshops when we come back from break that same week. It's not going to be the Tuesday when we come back. I will tell you that now. Our regular Zoom is going to be on Thursday, so probably Wednesday, because we know I don't like to meet on Fridays. So Wednesday, we'll do the CPT workshop. Is there any particular time would y'all rather me have it in the evening? Would it be easier for y'all to attend in the evening than during the day?
For me, yeah.
Yeah.
I usually work till about either 5 or 6.
I know we have quite a few people that's why they don't come to the Zoom is because they're working during the day. And usually that's the case for Jamie too. Um, right. So if it's easier for y'all, I can have it during the evening. Just remember that this is going to be an informal workshop. So messy hair, don't care, toddler running in the background. Because most of the time it's just me and her during the week. So I'll do what I can to keep her, occupied, of course, but just y'all bear with me, understand that it's informal session. So it'll be a little more relaxed. Okay. All right, so we'll plan for that Wednesday evening. I'll get that Zoom link posted on the coding workshops page. I'll make a section and put the links there so everybody can find them. And I'll also put them on the Remind app the day of. All right, so coding workshops, holiday break. Module 154, y'all, is going to continue on after break. It is long. It is 40 days long, so it's going to continue on to like February, I think, like February the 7th or somewhere around there, beginning of February. So if you're having any issues with the CPTs or the ICD-10s, get with me. And again, those coding workshops that we're going to start at the beginning of the year are going to help you out a lot. And y'all can watch the previous semester's workshops on the coding workshops page, Any Learning. I did post those there for y'all. Let's see. Miss Jerica made it. Jamie, I don't think Jerica's quite as far along as you are, but she just got out of the hospital this morning too. She's got a real complicated pregnancy, high-risk thing going on as well. So y'all two are in the same boat.
Well, today they sent me home and they were like, don't come back tomorrow.
The babies. Oh, the babies. Do it for the
Yes.
babies.
I'm so happy the baby stage is over for me. Cause baby.
No, you're about to hit up those toddler years. But y'all, I would take a newborn all day long.
It's
all
the
day,
adult
night
teenage
over a
years.
toddler.
It is the adult teenage years.
I haven't gotten there yet, man. Oh, I'm
I have a 19-year-old and he is worse than a toddler.
Oh, don't tell me that.
My oldest is 13, and let me tell y'all what, she a no limit soldier.
Well,
Oh
look,
man.
mine will be 5 January 2nd, and she thinks she a no limit soldier. She really does. And what's funny about it is like we get around my family, like for the holidays, we went for Thanksgiving, and my brother's like, you understand that is nothing but a carbon copy of you. Like down to the T. She's a carbon copy of you in every way, shape, and form. And I'm like, that's probably what I deserve. It's probably what I deserve. So, but all right. I'm gonna share my screen, y'all. We're gonna jump into chapter 15. I've got a little presentation, and where these practice problems came from, this is not some that y'all should have looked at already. So this will kind of be fresh stuff. These came out of the workbook. Y'all have, I'm sure y'all have realized that sometimes I assign y'all stuff out of the workbook and sometimes I don't. For the rest of 115, your practical in the workbook is going to be sparse because we're going to do a lot of that in Zoom as together as practical practice. So that's where I'm pulling these questions for today have come straight out of the practical section in the workbook. Now, I don't know if y'all have noticed this, but the workbook does not have answers like the book does for some of it. I think it has like the evens or odds or something like that in the back for some sections. So if y'all are working on that and y'all need those answers, let me know. I have an answer key and I can give you whatever you need to double check your work or, for practice, whatever you want to do. All right.
I missed 2 or 3 questions on the I missed 2 questions on the test. That I don't even know what the question is, and I don't know.
The chapter 14?
Yeah,
I'll go look at it.
okay. Because I'm like, what did I miss?
All right, so chapter 15. Let me write that down real quick to check Claire's test. Okay. So chapter 15 was our musculoskeletal system section for CPT coding. All right, so one thing I want y'all to take a look at, page 131 in your CPT manual is the beginning of the section for chapter 15, beginning of the musculoskeletal chapter, okay? And let me get there just to make sure I'm telling y'all right. Yes. All right, so on this page 131, you'll see that they have all these different illustrations for y'all, right? We can read stuff. We've not been to medical school. We may not know what all of this stuff is, right? So the book has given us these illustrations and a table of contents to help us find things a little bit faster and to kind of figure out what things are if it's something that we're confused about. All right, and you'll see that each section on that page 131, they have this whole skeleton here, and it tells you what, some of the different parts of the body. And then as you go further into the chapter, and they get more specific on like the skull or the spine or, all these different parts, they'll have illustrations of those individual parts so you can break it down even further, okay? But that main illustration might help you figure out what part of the body you need to be looking at if you're completely lost. And y'all, there's a lot of times, I've been doing this for 8 years, and there's a lot of times I look at some of the work that we're doing in our course, in our program, and it's stuff that I've never seen. It's stuff specialties that I've never dealt with. And that's okay, because I know how to use these manuals. And that is the big important thing, is knowing how to use the manuals, knowing where to go to get the information you need, okay? And the illustrations, the table of contents will help you out a lot. You can see that goes on to page like 130, 138. So 8 pages of illustrations of different parts of the body, and then you get to your guidelines. Who can tell me why guidelines are important? What do we get from our guidelines in our manuals?
Code when not to code, what's listed under specific sections.
Perfect. Yes, ma'am. You nailed it. What to code, when to code it, why not to code it if it shouldn't be coded. Any kind of specifications. Sometimes they list changes in there for you to pay attention to. Just a lot of useful information in there, right? All right, so our first scenario that we're going to look at, and I had a lot of fun with this presentation, y'all. Just laugh at the skeletons throughout the presentation. All right, so the first one, Julie Mason, age 5, is coming in today to have her long arm cast replaced with a short arm cast. She sustained a torus fracture of the upper end of the radius and is 1 week post-op. What keywords jump out at y'all when y'all look at this? When y'all read this?
Long arm cast. Today, she have her long arm, short arm cast. Torus fracture of the
Post-op.
upper end of the radius and post-op, 1 week post-op.
Yeah, Yes, yes, yes. Why is that 1 week post-op important?
Because of the way you bill. She's still in her global period.
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay, there we go. Exactly, exactly. We need to know she's post-op because she's still going to be in her global period. Meaning we may need to add what to the code when we find out what the code is.
A modifier.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Very good. Things like post-op, how many physicians there were, anything like that could clue us into modifiers. So we definitely want to pay attention to that stuff. Let's see, Torus fracture. I heard y'all say short arm cast, long arm cast, upper end of the radius. So that's important too, right? All right. So where do y'all think you're going to start in your CPT book, your current procedural terminology coding manual? What procedure?
Like what we're gonna start with?
Uh-huh. What are you going to look up in the alphabetic index to see what procedure we're doing?
I would start with the torus fracture.
That's what I was thinking.
I think
Yeah.
that's a good place to start.
Or start with fracture and go from there.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. So let me know what y'all get. We're going with torus fracture. I've got both of my big manuals that sit almost eye level with me. Let's see, anybody coming up with anything? All right, so you could go a couple of different ways. All right, so Julie, she's coming in today to have her long arm cast replaced with a short arm cast. So essentially, that's the procedure that we're having done today. We're replacing this cast, right?
Right.
Okay. So one of the things you can look at is application. Application. For when we're looking at CPTs, we want to look at procedures. What's being done to or for the patient, on the patient, that kind of stuff. So today we're putting this cast on, replacing this cast. So I would look at maybe application, maybe casting, something like that. See, I'm trying to go to the wrong end of the book. Your alphabetic index for your CPT manual is in the back. It's directly opposite for your ICD-10 manual. For your wow, my mind just went blank. Diagnosis codes. Diagnosis codes. So, or you could also start with radius, y'all, because that's the bone we're working on, right? All right, so anesthesia. Antibodies. All right, so if you go to your alphabetic index and you find application, let's see, allergy, bone fixation. Multiple bone fixation might work. Okay, so maybe application is not the best way to go. I'm not seeing too much as far as our cast there. So let's see. So I'm gonna go to the back of the alphabetic index and look up radius. See if we get there. That would be the thing in my mind that would stick out. All right. And it says radius. See also arm, lower, elbow, ulna. Okay, so it gives us some see alsos. So let's go to arm. And guys, sometimes it just takes this long. Sometimes it takes some looking into. And that's normal and okay. All right, so arm, lower, abscess, amputation, cast. Bingo, cast. That's what we're looking for. And it gives us 29075. All right, so if we go back into the musculoskeletal system chapter, we'll find 29075 on page 211. All right, so we see on page 210 and 211, application of casts and strapping. So there we go. The first section is body and upper extremities. We're talking about arms. So I think that's going to be our section. The first subsection is casts. We get in that section. Go down the list, 29075, elbow to finger, short arm. Also known as the radius, if I'm not mistaken. 29075. And there's nothing indented down, nothing crazy around it to let us know that it's a not usable code or we need to add on or anything. So we're going to go with 29075 as our CPT for that one. And what modifier are we going to stick on there since she is 1 week post-op? Do y'all want me to tell you or y'all looking for it?
I was having about that.
CPT code again?
29075.
Hold on.
Is it 55?
Close.
56.
56.
Closer.
Maybe it'll help if I put on my
What?
glasses.
Wait. What? Okay. What are we doing?
Figure out the
290.
modifier.
We're looking for the modifier.
Yeah, what modifier are we gonna stick on this one?
Chart.
Okay, that's wrong.
Is not considered part of preoperative. Therefore, where that is
Like I said, 55 is close, 56 was closer.
wait, don't.
I'm not telling.
58.
Yep. 58. Good job. It is 58.
Operative period. Okay, yeah.
I still gotta find it.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
I had to read it.
Sometimes, I can't remember what they are off the top of my head. I've got to look through the list and pick the right one. Almost every time. There have been like a couple of jobs where I used the same one a lot. So I knew every time I saw that, that set of codes together, oh, well, I need to add once it was like a 26 or 27 to that every time, or it's going to come back to me. It's going to get denied. So, like I say, once y'all get into your job and you get accustomed to how your office works and the codes that you see on a regular basis, it'll click, y'all. I promise you it will click and you'll know what to do. You know what to do. And like I also try to remind y'all all the time, and y'all probably get sick of me saying it, y'all will not have to cold code like this often at all. Most of the time, the software is going to help you out with it. But what we do here is teach you how to use this manual, because computers fail. Software fails. Sometimes
Or
we just gotta
internet drops.
or the internet drops, or a hurricane comes through, or whatever the case may be, and life's got to go on. So you have your manual as backup. And to narrow things down, like there are times where I've had software help me out with codes, and then because it was a particular procedure and in a global period and bundled with some other stuff, like I had to actually get in the CPT manual and really read up on the codes to see what the crap the insurance company was talking about. Because sometimes you're just like, that doesn't make any sense, and you got to go and verify what they tell you sometimes. So, because they'll tell you you're using the wrong code, and I'm like, well, what code do you want me to use? Well, I'm not a coder. Go ask your coder. That's the response you get. But they're more than happy to tell you you're using the wrong code. Well, what do you expect me to use? I use the most appropriate code to my patient, my medical record. Well, I'm not your coder. That's when you want to get sassy with people, but you have to maintain your professionalism.
So that was code 58, correct?
Correct. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. All right. I do have the ICD-10 codes for these. Do y'all want to dig into that today? You have your ICD-10 manuals handy dandy?
Yeah.
Of course you do. All right, so as far as ICD-10 codes for this one go, guys, y'all have already said all the keywords that you're gonna need to look up. Torus fracture, radius. There you go. Fracture. You can break it on down to fracture and probably start. That'd be an excellent place to start. What I am going to do is I am going to find it in the tabular, in the chapter, and let y'all get there on your own. And if you can't, I'll tell you what page in the tabular you need to be on. These books are so big.
It depends. Is it the right or the left arm?
We don't know.
Well, then you're gonna have an unspecified if you don't know.
Maybe. It could be.
I know that for a fact.
Ah, that's a big chapter.
I think I got it.
I know you're gonna. I can tell you what I think. It's an S code.
It is an S. One of them is an S code. There's two that can go here. But the first, S code. What S code you coming up with?
Well, it depends
S52.
on if it's the right or left arm.
Okay. All right. Hold on.
I'm coming up with S52.52. 529, sorry.
It's gonna be an A because you're still treating it.
All right.
Well, I mean, no, it can be a D, depending on how you operate.
Yeah. Torus fracture of the lower end of the radius. Oh, shoot. I'm reading wrong. Y'all don't listen to me.
Okay, so for your post-op code, again, it depends. But are you doing a Z code or?
I've got a Z code and an S code.
Okay. Is it the regular encounter, Z47, whatever, or? Because I mean, we don't know what the surgery is.
It was. What I've got is Z46.89. But why is my other code is not matching up though? My S code, I'm looking
That's
at it,
because
and that don't look
that's
right.
because I looked up the lower end. I needed to look up the upper end.
No, I'm saying what I have over here in my book, written down for the answer, that does not look right.
Let me go back.
Is it because we don't have a left or right? Or is it just an unspecified code?
Let's see.
I think it'll be an unspecified radius because it doesn't say left or right, but it does say the upper end of the radius.
The insurance is going to be like, why do you have an unspecified code?
Right. Yeah, the insurance, like if we were given this to code at work.
I'd be calling and asking left or right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
We'd have to follow up for more.
We have to find out.
Absolutely. But for the for the purposes of our class. All right, so fracture of upper end of
52.1.
radius.
5211.
S251, the appropriate seventh characters to be added to all codes in subcategory 211, which, like Claire said, initial encounter.
Yeah, agree.
Upper end of right radius, left radius. Torus fracture of upper end of unspecified radius. Torus fracture upper end of the radius. Okay, so I would go with
Here we go.
the S52119. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But for this, that's what I would do for this. If I was at work, I would figure out which one it was, so I wasn't using an unspecified code.
Right.
But
Yeah.
y'all have already figured that part out. But yeah, for the purposes of this though, it would be the S52
119.
one section. And then you would, left, right, or unspecified under that. Very good. All right, so the Z code. Z46.89.
Encounter for fitting adjustment of other specified device. Encounter for fitting or adjustment of a wheelchair? 0.9.
What?
It's just,
Unspecified device. Z46.9.
but it's a specified device.
The
We know what
wheelchair.
it is, right?
You're right. You might have not cast application.
Now, see, that wheelchair thing is throwing me off though.
Yeah. I would be like, okay, that's not it.
Or maybe they're giving that as an example. A wheelchair is a specific device.
Maybe.
What does that blue dot mean? Unacceptable principal diagnosis. So that means we can't list that code first.
Mm-hmm.
Counterfeiting adjustment of wheelchair.
Looking at that, I honestly just would have did a code for orthopedic aftercare. Encounter for
Right.
aftercare.
I would probably agree with you, Claire.
Just because, like you said, that wheelchair would have got me. I'd have been like, no.
No. And I'm not seeing anything that's like more specific,
I know. I'm looking myself.
Contact lenses, dental procedures. Orthopedic
I would think the orthopedic aftercare because it's
aftercare.
dealing with a fracture. See.
It also depends too, though, if they did it, like
Right.
if they did it non-invasively or if they actually had surgery.
Right. You're right.
The only reason I know that is because I work for orthopedic. And they chew my ass out all the time. So that's the only reason why I know these things. 'Cause they get me out. Oof.
All right. Y'all, I might would leave it off altogether.
And just roll with your
Yeah, with the S code.
S code. Yeah.
That's probably what I would do in a work situation. All right, so let's move on to the next one. That one took a minute. Okay, so percutaneous skeletal fixation of closed calcaneal fracture requiring manipulation. All right, first time I looked at that, I was like, what and where is calcaneal? I had
On
no
the
idea
knee,
what even part of the body I was supposed to be looking at.
the foot.
Yes, the foot. I found that out because of this diagram right here, which is in the CPT manual. It's that bone you don't want to like pick your foot up and hit something with.
Yeah.
Back of your foot, not your Achilles tendon, but that bone in your heel. So that's the part of the body we're talking about. All right, percutaneous skeletal fixation of closed calcaneal fracture. So a calcaneal fracture. Let's see what they were asking for this one. All right,
What are we doing first?
I'm gonna go with calcaneal
Are we in CPT or
CPT.
IT? Okay.
All right. All right, so page 1057 in the alphabetic index.
I found it.
Middle column down to the bottom. It's under calcaneus, and then it indents down to fracture.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have closed treatment, and then we have with manipulation. So this is both closed fracture requiring manipulation. So I'd say somewhere between 28400 and 28406.
Yep.
Yep. So page 209
8.
in the tabular. All right. Fracture and or dislocation. Closed treatment, calcaneal fracture without manipulation. And what's the definition for 28406?
Percutaneous skeletal fixation of calcaneal fracture with manipulation. Could you have two codes? Or would it just be one?
Look at the definition of
But-
28406 and look at what's on your screen.
I think
Right.
it would just be the 06.
Like it
I would
can't-
say 06 because percutaneous, you could be, well, it's the closed, but I mean, percutaneous, you could be open or closed.
but I mean, it's super
Technically.
specific. Super.
Yeah.
And like identical to the scenario that we have going on here.
Mm-hmm.
Like the wording is almost exactly the same. Even. Percutaneous skeletal fixation of calcaneal fracture. Oh, I see what you're saying. It doesn't say closed.
Mm-hmm. That's why I asked if you could
But-
have two codes. Two
Nope.
codes, but I mean, percutaneous could be either or, in my opinion.
All right. Is closed treatment the same thing as a closed fracture, though? Because we're dealing with a closed calcaneal fracture.
Yeah, bye. Busting with Randy. I would say, I would say 06.
That's what the book calls for. It calls for the 06. And I'm thinking the reason why, I don't know exactly what closed treatment entails
Yeah.
as far as fractures go, but I do know what a closed fracture is. So I would probably lean to, like I said, they're going to the 06, and that would have been the first thing that popped into my mind too. And I mean, it's pretty straightforward once you get to the definition on this one. No modifier needed, anything like that. And we don't have any other information, so we're not looking for any ICD-10 codes. All right, so let's go on to the next one. Closed treatment of a single closed metacarpophalangeal dislocation.
The MCP joint.
Distal end with manipulation and without anesthesia. Eesh, that sounds like it hurts. All right, so
Believe it or not, I have to type that out like every day.
metacarpophalangeal.
Metacarpophalangeal, yeah. The doctor that
I have to
work
say it
for
slow,
is
or
a
I
hand
can't say
specialist.
it. If I don't say it super slow, I'm gonna mess it up. I know it. Okay, so where would y'all start on this one?
1166 in the index.
1166.
Yeah. Oh, I take it back.
Too
1165.
late.
I was on the metatarsal. It's metacarpal. 1165. What you closed treatment?
Dislocation
Dislocation.
with manipulation. All right, so what I would probably do for this, I'd go to the beginning of that section, like the 26700, and go from there maybe.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So that's gonna be page 188.
Close treatment of a metacarpal fracture single with manipulation.
Hey, That works.
Uh,
Closed treatment. Single.
Hmm.
26700.
Yep. That's what I came up with.
Yeah.
Bingo, baby. And that's what our book is calling for. Y'all want to do the ICD-10 code on this one? One measly little S code.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh,
This is the biggest book in existence. It has to be.
Really, I'm gonna need them to put it on an iPad or something.
I know.
All right. Okay. Which metacarpal?
Single closed medical certificate. I don't know.
Let's just say the second. I was patient working on this a second.
about to say, I had my fifth one, my third one was broken.
I just did a patient. The third and the fourth was broken, a non-displaced. That matters too. Is it displaced or non-displaced? I'm gonna need them to get it together on these. But,
They need to get just a little bit more specific for us.
yeah.
All right. I got my answer.
I don't know what this is.
You don't have to know. Well, I mean, in a work situation, yes, we would find out what finger. But for the purposes of our demonstration today.
Let's see.
What you got?
Da, 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 da. Uh,
I need to get some Jeopardy theme music.
yes, modified initial encounter. Close dislocation. Well, my computer, my work program is giving me 763.29269.
It's giving you what? Yes, what?
It's 63.269A. But that's just closed dislocation of metacarpophalangeal joint of a finger initial encounter. That's unspecified. All right. Application of
Page 1361.
okay, great. On the right page. Uh, with unspecified lateral. Okay, S63.268. Not an 8.
Mm-mm.
With
9.
I say that because of the unspecified. Well, unspecified laterality. Okay. Unspecified 269.
Yeah, your work program got the same answer as the book.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Look at that. I honestly would, though, I would
Could use the
consider
8. Yeah.
the 8 because of the unspecified laterality.
If you can,
My opinion.
y'all, Claire is right. If you can use something other than an unspecified code, it is better to do that. Usually, it is better. But just remember that you can't code what you don't know.
Right.
And if it's not in the documentation, it didn't happen. You know, that's unfortunately the world that we live in. But we can't code off of what we don't know. But if we can use something other than an unspecified code, that is better as far as the real world and what's better for insurance companies and what comes out of our offices and stuff like that. For our book and textbook and our curriculum and program and all that, though, they would probably expect you to use the unspecified code, because technically, even though the insurance company doesn't like it, that doesn't mean it's not the correct code. It doesn't mean it's not the actual correct choice if you're going by the book, just because the insurance company doesn't like it. So, all right, so we took some time on those. So we're gonna stop there for today because we're right at an hour, and y'all know I'm gonna have to be going to get the kid in a little bit. But there are like 3 more. I'm just gonna show y'all my skeletons, and I will put this up. Yeah, see them, they're cute. They're cute. Yeah, and then the last one. There was 6 examples altogether. So what I will do, if y'all want to practice on these, I can post this in e-learning on the coding workshops page, or maybe right under the video on the Zoom meetings page, somewhere where y'all can find it. And I'll put in the answers so that y'all can work it backwards if you want to. Sometimes, y'all, that's the way to go to learn how they want you to go about the process of finding this stuff. Go backwards, get the answer, and then see, okay, how the crap did they get there? That's what I've had to do on a lot of stuff. So if that's what you got to do, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. However you got to get there is how you get there. And there's multiple processes for that a lot of the time. So we're gonna stop share. All right. So does anybody have any questions, any concerns about any of that? No, we good?
You got something to say?
All right. Who is iPhone 2? real quick so I can write you down. I think she's at work. So I'm gonna ask her. All right, so again, you guys,
Mhm. Think so.
if y'all need additional help with the CPT, get with me or the ICD-10. But again, we're gonna be doing those coding workshops when we come back from the holidays. No problem, Cassandra, thank you. Coding workshops when we come back after the holidays. So if y'all feel like you're behind on that or you're not real confident with it, we're gonna work more on that when we come back. All right, if y'all don't have anything else for me, y'all, that is all I have for y'all today. And like, again, this is our last Zoom before holiday break, so we will not have one until the first week of the year. So y'all have a Merry Christmas and a most blessed New Year. Stay safe, stay healthy,
I have a
stay happy.
question.
Okay?
Damn.
And even though we're on break and technically it is my vacation, I will still be checking email here and there. But y'all know y'all can always, break or not, weekend or not, text message me if y'all need anything, if you're working on something, okay? All right,
Yes, ma'am.
Hey,
folks.
Miss Brandy.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, did you ever get the graduation day for Miss Peggy's class?
I asked them this morning when our next graduation date was gonna be. And I'm sorry to tell y'all, but everybody in this group is probably gonna be in that same graduation. It is the soonest they could get it booked was May.
Oh, that's not bad.
May.
Oh, so we're not doing in February?
They were not able to get the Cajun Dome in Lafayette booked. Apparently, you're having to book it like 2 years in advance now
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
for some reason. So it did
Wow.
not get booked, and they could not find another venue to hold it in. So the earliest date they could get was in May,
gotcha.
which
Alrighty.
I hate, and I'm sorry, y'all. If there was anything I could do about that, I would, and I promise y'all that I have fussed. My boss is probably tired of hearing me fuss about that. And my face today when she told me May in our meeting, that my coworkers actually laughed out loud at my face because my face said it all. Because I was like, May? Because I mean, but y'all, let me stop recording.